Cold, wet. I actually saw the sun break a little bit today. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. That was yesterday. I went out, saw the grandparents. Always good to see them. They're still doing good. As far as sports, high school basketball's going into playoffs. We have state wrestling coming up
Cold,
soon, if not this
wet.
weekend, the next weekend. Um, NFL Super Bowl. So that's what we were last week. Sam Darnold, Sam the man, my guy. I was the very first Seattle fan, or sorry, Sam Darnold fan in Seattle, in the city of Seattle. I was the first Sam Darnold fan. That is a fact. That is a fact. And I just want that on the record. Sam the man, Leonard Williams, a couple of guys. Obviously, Kenneth Walker won the MVP. Um, Congratulations to Seattle Seahawks. They won the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. They beat the Patriots,
for
the
sure.
lowly, stinky Patriots. Congratulations. Good thing for me. I went to the parade. Very fun. Sam the
A little
man,
viral
Leonard
clip
Williams
went
a
around
couple
of
of guys.
a
Obviously,
lady
Kenneth
on a
Walker
bike
won the
in downtown
MVP.
Seattle. You catch me at the tail end of that clip.
Congratulations
I'm
to
wearing a
Seattle
Leonard
Seahawks.
Williams
They
jersey.
won the
I'm
Super
listening.
Bowl.
I'm
They
wearing a
beat the
Sam Darnold
Patriots,
For
the
jersey.
sure.
lowly. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've got playoffs coming up. We had the All Star weekend with basketball, baseball. Guys are reporting to spring training and stuff.
That was the
Um,
worst. The All-Star
yeah,
weekend was
I,
the
I
worst.
with the All Star weekend, I don't know. I don't get it. I guess it's new. Maybe the Gen Z kids will gravitate towards it because
Not
of tra la
really,
lee, tra
probably
la
not.
la.
Yeah. Chase Richardson, busting his ass in the dunk contest always gets views for sure. That's
Oh
probably the
my
most viewed
goodness,
clip of the All Star weekend, I would think.
Mac won it 3 times in a row. He's the
Dude,
first
those
guy to
dunks
ever do that.
he posted on Instagram, it would have won the dunk contest. Let's be real here.
Hmm.
Like, so you guys couldn't hear me on the intro here. I think I have fixed that actually on the YouTube channel. But yeah, good to hear from the main man from Way Out West. The dynamic duo is going to be back in action just like
Always that.
always. Kind of a quick little episode for us here today. But there's not as much sports going on here as well. We got to really consider talking about this 10-day contract with K Stel. I think we're giving him too much of an advantage of skipping out on the podcast for this 10-day podcast thing specifically. I'm not mad at Howard. Howard's the guy that's actually, I believe I heard he was in the Atlantic Ocean looking for oysters, looking for a special pearl that would make him a millionaire if he was able to come up with it down on the seafloor of off the coast of Guatemala. And I think he's out there deep sea scuba diving for that specific pearl. So we're not mad at him, but K-Stel, man. Well, what are we gonna do with this guy? This guy is just unbelievable in his characteristics and everything like that. He's got no effort, no motivation for the boys. Um,
Problem is
married
beggars
life
can't
has
be
changed him.
choosers.
Married life
Uh,
has changed him. So
Beggars can't be choosers. We don't have too many other people knocking down the door, so
I guess it's
well
true.
we accept all comers. Um, yeah, it'd be great to see those guys every once in a while.
Good insights for
Few and
sure.
far between.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll have to wait and see when they are able to come back and hang out with us on the Dudes and Sports podcast. Hopefully, it's soon. We know they're both busy, but hey, we live and we learn, and I think our podcast's pretty good. It's two of us, so sports are kind of not in the dead zone, but there's only one real sport going on right now. We did miss out on the Super Bowl last week. There was some stuff going on where we couldn't quite all get on the podcast, so we can talk briefly about the Super Bowl. Boring Super Bowl, by the way. I think the most, entertaining part was maybe the halftime show of that Super Bowl. It depends on what type of Super Bowl halftime you watched. We're not going to get into that point, but the Seahawks ended up winning the Super Bowl, their second championship out there in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
They dominated the Patriots as expected, as the Patriots didn't play anybody, and Drake May continued to throw interceptions, and the Seahawks continued to run it down their throat. It wasn't close. Good win for the Seahawks. Obviously, Super Bowl victory is good in any way, shape, or form. The parade was cool. How was the parade? Yes, I saw you out there at the parade. As out there, the main man from Way Out West. How was that parade and the vibes going in Seattle?
Yeah, it was a good time out there. I guess it got a little rambunctious towards the end of the evening, but it was in the afternoon. The guys were out there. Street like the stoplights and stuff such hung a little low, so a couple guys banged their noggins off of those. Double decker bus. It was a good time. John Schneider was there, obviously. McDonald was just glowing, man. Oh my goodness, just drinking it all in. Sam Darnold, obviously. Leonard Williams. Greg Zabel had the trophy. It was a good time. Seattle fans are super pumped for this team. Really incredible work by John Schneider as a GM. He had no players on the same, had no coach or different head coach. I don't know if any coaches stayed since the last Super Bowl, but I mean that's basically a whole brand new franchise.
Yeah.
They're now going up to for sale. Jody Allen was in the parade. Obviously, her husband passed away recently, and that was very sad for the city of Seattle. He was a great owner, and obviously Jody now. Cool thing that happened there. I don't think the Seahawks are going to move to Oklahoma City. I don't think that's in the cards if they sell.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That would be very funny though.
Yeah, for sure. How was the wearing your Jets Sam Darnold jersey? Did you get a lot of shit there, or was it like pretty peaceful?
Oh yeah. A couple. I would say the uneducated crowd.
Yeah. So 95% of the population of Seattle. Yeah.
Well, some of the old timers, like there was one old timer who I actually saw twice at the parade. I saw him kind of early in the morning, and he's like, "I bet you feel outnumbered," and I was like, "Ha ha, I do." And then he kind of like took a look, and he was like, "Oh hey," and I was like, "Hey, yeah, man. I mean, you're welcome, right?" Geno Smith, fucking Sam Darnold, all these guys. Kind of helped, and even that kind of second team in the middle that Schneider built wasn't very good. The Geno Smith, Jamal Adams team.
Yeah.
But again, back to Schneider. I mean, just how incredible he was. But some of the younger squad, they were like, "Fuck the Jets" or whatever. And I guess there was some people wearing Rams gear and a couple guys wearing Patriot stuff. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you were doing with that.
Wild.
I mean,
why are you
like
what? There? Yeah, Jets makes
and like
sense
you're just gonna lose.
Like, whatever, like Darnold, okay, makes sense, but Patriots gear, like, I mean, I knew people were dumb in Seattle, but that's like, they're on the West Coast.
I don't know. Yeah, and then there was like a couple guys wearing Ram stuff that I saw.
Yeah, that's
and like they lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah,
a couple times too.
Yeah, they're just asking for trouble there.
But like, well, the other thing is like, why would you even give those fellas the time of day? Like, you just laugh and keep it rolling, right? If I won the Super Bowl, I mean, oh my gosh! And I was thinking about it, and I asked in the Dudes in Sports chat how many of you guys went to your parades, and it was a cool thing to go to. I think it was a cool thing. I grew up around here, and it's awesome for the community and that kind of stuff. So it was cool to be a part of it. I don't know if I'd go to like if the Seahawks win like another 7 of them. If I go every single year,
it's cool,
or whatever.
But it's like once you go to a few, you're like, but like also that's.
I don't know what the Jets would do if the Jets won one. I don't know, man. I might have to go out there for that.
Fly to New York and see.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I mean,
like
that would be incredible,
there, but,
right? Know. I know, but like that's the thing is that
maybe
I don't really have that connection with like my hometown and my favorite team. So like that's kind of the tough part of it, but it was cool to be a part of. But it's oh my god, it was a kind of a mess down there. Yeah. Holy smokes!
I bet
a million people.
I bet it was a big mess down there. That's how it always is. I went to 2 out of 3 Chiefs ones. You know, it's a good experience for sure for the community and stuff like that, especially if you're supporting the team. But good one on the Seahawks. We'll be coming out with our mock draft. I think. Maybe next week or the week after. We'll figure this out.
Combine's got to be soon. I think we're doing.
I think Combine's like next week, I think.
No, it's got to be in April.
What's the draft? Isn't early April? It's like April, like.
Late April, like April 20th.
Okay. So we got a ways for the NFL season still to kind of pick
All right,
up.
January. We're already into February. Beginning the date. Franchise tag starts on Tuesday, Scouting combine starts on the 23rd. That's next Monday, week from tomorrow.
Oh, wait
So
for
next
tomorrow.
week, I guess we could do a pre-combine mock draft.
We
I
can
don't know.
look at some stuff.
There's going to be a lot of college basketball stuff, and maybe MLB
And
games are starting next
we're
week
ramping
too.
up the college basketball season right now. This is the peak of it for sure. We'll be definitely talking about that. We gotta look at some MLB stuff. Spring training.
Do you think that's like a thing? Because it seems like a lot of this stuff kind of crescendos at a lot of the same time, where it's like we have these like kind of 2 weeks. It's
about until
then,
like from August to April, it's like a lot of the same sports, and then baseball dominates the summer. Everything else in the summertime doesn't really matter as much. There's like nothing else going on other than baseball. So, and I don't know if that's by design or what, but it seems like, yes, that they crescendo at the right time when nothing else is going on. Such a crescendo is happening in college basketball right now. We can talk some about that right now with us two here. I have not updated my top 25 and 1. I will have that update for you next week. Again, just kind of a happy Valentine's Day, happy late night, whatever, with Reach Sports Podcast. But do have a few notes on a few things.
When's the next top 25 coming out? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow on Monday, when the AP poll will come out.
ESPN.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly through some of these divisions. The SEC, let's start real quickly. Florida wins again. I've seen them as a 2 seed. That's crazy. The SEC sucks. Like, the SEC is not a good division this year. I put the ACC over them. I put the Big Ten over them. And I put the Big 12 over the SEC. And the SEC has Florida, who is the favorite to win the SEC tournament, to be a 2 seed. I see them losing in the round of 32 against a really good 7 seed. I don't know what's up with the SEC, but I don't think they're that high up. I think they're just beating up on bad teams, which is making Florida look better by beating up on bad teams. My own opinion on that, but Florida continues to be at the top of the rankings there. Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and Alabama are kind of up there as well, trying to search for that spot in the SEC championship. They beat up on bad teams. I don't think they're going to do that well. Speaking of not doing that well in the tournament, I don't think the Big East. Did you see that fight? St. John's, Providence?
Mm-hmm.
Powell, disgrace to the game of basketball. You're mad at your buddy for transferring to a better program, so you make a really hard, cheap foul with a dumb haircut. You get suspended 4 games by your team and then 2 by the NCAA. Just not a good look there. St. John's continues to be the second best team in the Big East, behind UConn. But St. John's wins that game. Providence is a maybe team, probably not team making the tournament. The Big East may only have 3 teams make the tournament. Like, it's like St. John's, UConn, and like maybe like Seton Hall or somebody, but they are not any good. Do you believe for a number 1 contender to be a championship contender, do they need to play in a superior conference, or could that number 1 team beat up on really bad teams and still be successful when we come to March?
Gonzaga has won.
They did just lose to Portland here a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
They did not have their number 1 scorer in Braden Huff. You can put that out there as well.
No, but I'm saying Gonzaga has won. Are you saying that Miami of Ohio can go undefeated the entire year and win the national championship?
No, Miami of Ohio could go undefeated, but not win the national championship. You're correct. What I was saying is, does your conference matter in the retrospect?
Because Gonzaga has won national championships.
No, they haven't. They've never won a national championship in their careers, in their
okay, then Syracuse in the Big East.
What I'm thinking is like, it's kind of a trap question, not necessarily, but Duke was a really good team last year, and they made it all the way to the Final Four. But if they played better competition and was able to win those close games, could they have maybe not sacrificed as much as Houston? Whereas this Duke team, I think, is better because they are playing much better competition in the ACC, winning close games like Michigan State and stuff like that to prove that they're not going to collapse in March. Does that conference impact these national championship contenders?
I get what you're going for. I don't think that there's one true answer that you can pull a single thread through all the national champions in the history of college basketball. I do agree that and right, we do have that joke in the chat that it's like, if fucking Syracuse lost by 1, it's better than when fucking Duke won by 30 in PC's book because of your fucked up logic. But I do see where you're coming from with that. You should just beat the guys that you're playing. Like it's so right as like, okay, who are we talking about? Are we talking about like the story being written at the end of the year? Or do you think that like really John Shire or fucking whoever, like, do you think Calipari's sitting in the locker room? He's like, guys, we only need to win this game by 5. If we win it by more than 15, then it's going to be
a win by 2 or a win by 30 doesn't matter in the essence of the whole thing. However, winning close games matters because in the tournament, especially at those
winning different ways matters.
Yeah,
that's what matters. Now, does it matter who it's against? If it's against Oakland,
winning in the game itself matters. Doesn't matter what way you do it, but if you win the game, doesn't matter if you win it by 2 or 30.
But let's talk about maybe this will go towards your argument. Maybe the Cam Newton when they went undefeated, or basically undefeated, and it was like they were just beating the crud out of everybody. They struggled when they saw like a really tough team, and you know what? Maybe the Patriots this year, and maybe that does have to do with like a weaker schedule, like. I don't know, Seattle U had a tough game, right, against Oregon State. But Duke's tough games against Virginia at Virginia. And it's like, that's 2 completely different levels. Yeah. Maybe that helps. But yeah, like just win, baby. I mean, that's what you're getting to at the end of the day.
You're right. The essence of it, you have to win the game. But I feel like if you play tougher competition, you're able to learn how to win those tough games versus playing teams that suck and blowing them out by 30, and then you get trapped in the tournament in the round of 32 of a team that can compete with you, and you haven't learned how to beat good teams.
Right, a kind of team that maybe takes 5th. Because, right, I'll take a team that takes 5th in the ACC, like UNC, over the winner of the fucking whoever. Sure. Now, maybe not Miami of Ohio.
But Miami, Ohio, and then St. Louis are the only ones that you really got to worry about of those like lower.
Until they're not. Until there's another one.
Right. Well, Robbie Avila for St. Louis doesn't shoot well. They're losing in the round of 64. That's the beauty of the tournament, right? It's like who is going to be the team that's going to push and accelerate the team forward.
I'm going to get a perfect bracket this year.
Yeah, I hear. I will do your predictions for you for Dudes and Sports Podcast. When your bracket comes up, I'm going to put Duke to the championship, winning national championship, and throwing it to the outside because
are we opening the Dudes and Sports?
We'll open it up for everybody. Yeah,
the Dudes and Sports Sportsbook, and that's going to be bankrolled by the presidential. I
don't think I was ever elected for that, but
foundation.
We can figure it out for specifics. But I mean, I think it really matters to compete against national championship level contender teams. I'm not saying that just because of Kansas and the Big 12. I'm saying this because if you cannot learn how to beat good teams by a small margin, then when you've been blowing out these bad teams by 30 and you have a close competition, how are you able to finish? I'm not speaking specifically Duke because I think the ACC is the second to third best overall conference in the NCAA basketball right now currently. Big 12 is, if we're talking overall, is 4th.
Whatever the best team that doesn't make the tournament from the ACC probably wins the NIT.
SMU should be good.
Like if SMU makes it, Syracuse
California would be
there's a bunch of teams on the bubble.
The ACC is a lot better than it was last year. There's a lot of better programs there, which gives me more confidence in Duke to be able to win a national championship.
Which is so crazy as a Duke fan because Knuppel, Malawak, Cooper Flag, and like the Boozer twins. How many years is Caden going to play at Duke?
3 or 4. He'll be those. Yeah. He'll be that veteran leader, point guard that you need for your incoming 5-star recruits. He'll be a Proctor for sure. Duke, I feel more confident in. I'm a known Duke hater on this podcast, and that's just how it is between you and me. But this team together, based on the wins that they've had and the competitions they've played, I have more faith in them going into the NCAA tournament than I did last year's team.
I want it on the record that I do not like that PC is saying this.
Hey, you got to admit when talent is good. Now, am I going to hope they lose in the round of 64? Absolutely. I hope they get upset by a 16 seed. But you cannot deny talent when talent is due. This team is very talented. They've shown that, demonstrated every single game, blowing teams out by 15 in a much better ACC. I'm more confident in this Duke team to go further than I was in Cooper Flag. Doesn't matter on talent. I think just being able to learn how to win against good teams really matters. But
what about the game tomorrow?
The game tomorrow doesn't matter. It's at Cameron. The only time Duke is in trouble is if they play.
I'll probably be wearing my buddy jersey.
Top three.
To answer your question, I'll probably be wearing my buddy jersey tomorrow.
Well, for your fandom, I would see like Duke losing to Syracuse isn't a big deal. Syracuse beating Duke allows them to get in the tournament. I get that understanding and the logic behind that.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that would be a very bad loss for Duke.
It would be.
That would be an incredibly bad loss.
But I still think Duke's better than UConn. I think UConn's like the number 6 team, 7 team in the nation. I don't think they're that good because the Big East sucks. The Big East is trash. They have St. John's and UConn. That's it. And Dan Hurley's a fucking head case. I could see UConn losing in the round of 32 to a 9 seed. And I'll be my only one on that hill, and that's fine. If I'm proven wrong, then that just shows that I'm not a real analyst. I don't know what I'm talking about. But UConn, I don't feel like is that great of a basketball team. I think they play in a really crappy conference.
What about Iowa State?
Iowa State, not a great basketball team. They're okay. They beat Kansas, beat the brakes off of Kansas today or yesterday.
Is Kansas the best team in the Big 12?
No. Arizona's the best team in the Big 12.
Okay, yeah.
Arizona lost to Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse where they never lose at. And they did lose to Texas Tech, but they lost in overtime at Texas Tech. The only problem I have with Arizona is they don't shoot the 3 ball. And in basketball, if you don't shoot the 3 ball, good luck. They need that freshman Berries to score about 6 threes in a game for it to actually matter. I think Arizona is the most complete team, but I don't know if they're my favorite to win the national championship based on their shot selection. I think the 3 ball matters and they don't shoot any threes. If you're not hitting from 2 like they were at Allen Fieldhouse, that's what happens. They lose. They didn't shoot well against Texas Tech. Texas Tech beat them. So you have to shoot the 3 ball to be able to get that extra point. I think that really matters. But KU I find is fine. Good win against Arizona without Darren Peterson. DNP is a funny nickname for him, and I honestly really like that. I think it was a funny comment. He is DNP. That's literally what he is. They got blown up by Iowa State. Iowa State lost to TCU the week before, in the middle of the week. They were going to blow up Kansas and Ames no matter what. After getting demolished in Allen Fieldhouse and losing to TCU, they were going to win the game. I had a feeling about it. Do I still see KU being a Elite 8 to Final Four team? I do. If Darren Peterson can continue to be in the rotation and not keep screwing up the chemistry.
I think that you need Darren Peterson out of the rotation.
But if he gets in the rotation and stays in the rotation, it's only beneficial.
Okay, from what we've seen this season, what has been the higher ceiling? DP on the court, DP off the court?
DP on the court because he beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. He beat them. He had
Right.
2 clutch shots. And I think the big thing with Kansas right now is chemistry is so huge in basketball, right? Like, you have to be able to have guys that can pass the ball and shoot the rock. Kansas, without Darren Peterson, has really great chemistry. But if Darren plays well and can continue to be on the court, and again, it's this big thing we've been talking about on Dude Sports Podcast, this big word, and that's if. If Darren Peterson can stay on the court and be a part of this team until March, they are a Final Four to national championship contender team. If Darren Peterson continues to do this bullshit where he sits out for a game and is ruining the chemistry, they could lose in the round of 32. Like, it's so wishy-washy with this basketball team because Darren Peterson's the key that never wants to unlock the lock. And if he can unlock the lock, they aren't that good. But it's can he get over the flu? Is he going to continue to do this bull crap where he sits on the bench? I mean, they won against Arizona at home, but Kansas rarely loses in Allen Fieldhouse. Like, it's the same way Duke barely loses in Cameron Indoor, right? Like, it's just the home field atmosphere that there's some voodoo type shit going on at these home field advantages in these specific programs that it allows them to win the basketball game. But if Darren Peterson plays, they are a contender. If he doesn't play, they're still a Sweet 16 caliber team, but not a national championship level contender. That's my own personal opinion on it. I don't know what Kansas is going to do. We'll have to wait and see. They play Arizona at Arizona still. They have a few bye games coming up here where they should win. Probably looking at a 3 seed, maybe 4. But they're still, if Darren Peterson plays, I feel like that they're a great, phenomenal team. We'll have to wait and see on that specifically, obviously, and see if the Kansas Jayhawks can get better. The Big Ten, real quick. There's 3 teams that are dominating in Michigan, Purdue, and Illinois. Michigan beat UCLA by a lot earlier this week. They are the now unanimous number 1 team in the nation after Arizona lost twice. Purdue beat up on our boys at Iowa. Iowa looking at a 9 seed right now, hoping they can turn it around. I would love to see them in the tournament. Scary 9 seed for sure, but they got to make it in the tournament first. And then Illinois wins again at Indiana by 20. Those are the top 3 teams in the Big Ten, all of them national championship contenders if they play to the caliber they're available to. Let's talk quickly ACC before we move on to our UFC. Duke gets a big win over Clemson. That was massive. In your book, is Duke the best without, and I know there's going to be a little bit of Duke bias in there, and I can understand that as a fan. Is Duke the best team in college basketball currently? Should they be the number 1 team going into the polls on Monday?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for that softball question. Because no, it's Arizona. Arizona is going to be the number 1 team on all the polls. But Duke is the number 1 team that can win the national championship. And that's because they have the number 1. And I don't know about all this draft stuff, but they have the number 1 player in college basketball. There is a 6'9", 250-pound man who lives in Durham, North Carolina, who can do anything he wants on a basketball court. There is not one thing he cannot do at the highest level of Division I college basketball. I have seen him hit the outside shot. He hits turnaround threes. He hits step-back threes. He moves off of screens well. He sets screens, pick and pop, pick and roll. He dunks on everybody and anybody. He can run point. He can run the break. He can get down the court. he's incredible defensively. He is our center. I mean, I was so afraid of losing Malawak, and I was like, okay, Ngumba step into this role. And I was like thinking like, oh, Ngumba's going to be like this big center, and he's going to go top 10 in the NBA. Ngumba might have to stay another fucking year.
He probably will. I would agree.
Right? Because like last year we were like, oh, Ngumba's going to kill it this year. No, actually, we've got this guy who plays 1 through 5. He does anything. I think you bring his little kid brother out there who can shoot a little bit better and can pass the rock a little bit better and is a little bit quicker off the dribble. And then it just leaves so much more open space for him. Other than that, you have to have good games out of Malik Brown. Dame Sars looked pretty good. I hope I might be able to get another year out of Dame Sars.
I would agree.
But I'm afraid that like one of these NBA draft prospect guys are going to get in his year. We'll get you in the we'll get you in the 20s, or you'll be a late lottery pick, and then you'll develop or whatever. If I could get another year out of him, we'd be fucking killer next year. But this Duke team is super exciting. Like I said, I don't know about the draft stuff and Darren Peterson, and I get it. Kyrie Irving didn't play any fucking games for Duke and still went number 1, and he was a great player. But he still had those kind of injury issues, and PC and I had this whole conversation right before the pod. But Boozer, he's just available and he does everything, man. Like he looks a little bit like Cooper. He's a little bit thicker than Cooper. He's a little bit thicker around the waist and a little bit more of a down low player. But gosh, he is something special, man. I'm really excited to see him in the tournament. Now, if you shut him down, we have seen other guys step up. Malik Brown probably being that kind of Robin.
Caleb Foster.
Foster's look pretty good too. He's kind of just coming on. He struggled kind of early in the season, so we'll see. But yeah, the more guys that can play better, the better, right? And then if Boozer's on, I don't know if everyone else just needs to hit their shots. That's how good Boozer is.
Yeah,
I think against any team in the nation, right?
Yes, you need your role players to. I have them currently at number 2. It's not Arizona I have over them. I have Michigan over them at number 1. And then I have Duke
that
at
game's
2.
Next week.
And then I have Arizona at 3. But Duke is, you can't deny. I could be the biggest hater in the world and say, oh, no, which I'm going to do. But game recognizes game. And Duke is a national championship.
3:30.
Duke is a national championship contending team that will be exciting to watch, and I hope choke in the Final Four like they did last year. But that's just the hater inside me talking. So we'll have to wait and see. ACC, Virginia, very good basketball team. Unfortunately, lose out of North Carolina, not for the main man for way out west, but everybody else who's a college fan. Caleb Wilson hurt, might not play for a while. Big news there for them is specifically.
Oh, can we talk about the UNC? So they beat Duke. And then they stormed the court, and then the whole Shire thing, whatever.
They're banned court storm because Shire likes to complain.
But Miami, the very next game that UNC had, that was funny. It would have been very funny if Fran, or who's their coach?
It is John Lucas. It's not John. What's his first name? In Miami.
But if he would have had the same, no, not for Miami, for UNC.
Oh, Huber.
Huber Brown, yeah. If Hubert would have came out and word for word, Davis, if he would have word for word said the Shire thing after the Miami thing, that would have been fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Shire thing was all like what I'm used to that though at the post. Well, our assistant coach got elbowed in the face. We used to shut
and I want it very clear. It is funny to make fun of Duke and stuff. Every head coach says that, no matter what school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is funny to be like, oh, of course Duke says it and stuff because we're the.
And I can agree on that as well. Every coach does that, but it is fun to kind of dog on Duke for that specific reason. But
does KU storm the court?
They do not. They're that good that they don't storm a court. But I've never seen Duke storm a court either. So they're a part of that blue blood caliber where that's the expectation is to win these games. It's not. It's not like oh wow we beat them like all these other. Fucking
Hodunk, Missouri State.
Yeah, if Mizzou every single time rushing the court. Kansas State rushing the court. You know why? Because they're the little brother and nobody cares.
Mizzou would storm the court to go 500.
Mizzou would storm the court when they beat Sacramento State. Okay, they're like, oh my god!
Welcome to the great pull. Welcome to the FBS,
Yeah.
Sacramento
Yeah.
State.
Shout out to them. And
Welcome to the MAC, the
Yeah.
Mid-American Conference.
It'd be awesome. Yeah, Sacramento State being the Mid-American Conference is nuts.
Pac-12.
But
Pac-12 After Dark is back, baby.
it'll be fun.
You're gonna be staying up till 1 a.m. in September.
It's only like 11 o'clock for you, so what does it really matter? But that'll be it for college basketball. I will give
next week. Who you got? Saturday. We won't be on until after the game.
Oh, is it? It's neutral, right?
Mm-hmm. In DC.
It's in DC. Well, fuck.
It's probably going to be the most expensive basketball game.
It's going to be a great game. I feel like that's a national championship contending level of game.
This late in the season, too.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky are we?
Yeah. As fans of college basketball, as a non-Duke hater, it's a good game to watch. Man, I don't know. Yaxenberg is really good, but Cam's good too. You know what? If you want me to make a prediction, I will. I hope for a good game. Prediction-wise, this close to the end of the year, I think Duke's on a hot streak. I think Michigan's really been struggling. I think Duke ends up winning that upset matchup and really propelling themselves in this ACC tournament to be a number 1 seed and being a high favorite in the NCAA tournament like they were last year. Not saying I think they're going to win the national championship. There's a lot of things to come still. It's only February 15th, and the tournament doesn't come out till March 17th or whatever. But if you're asking me if I'm going to put my money on somebody, I'm going to put it on Duke just because they're known to win those close matchups. Ew. Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying that. It feels like I'm like throwing up in my mouth a little bit. Oh my god.
Ooh. I think you're just planting. I know. I think you're just planting a seed. So when this match.
So when they lose, then I can say something about it. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I'm doing.
But if we didn't lose to UNC, I'd like to even say, like, you know what, this would be like a good.
Well, you lost to Michigan State too.
There was a game to lose.
Michigan State was on a buzzer beater, right? Or did you guys beat Michigan State or on a buzzer beater?
We beat Michigan State.
Who was the team that Duke lost to? Who was the other team? I can't even remember.
Texas Tech on the buzzer beater.
Oh, right. That's not a bad loss.
That was at Texas Tech.
Yeah, at Texas Tech is tough. Can't be like KU.
No, sorry. It was in Cameron versus Texas Tech. That's right. No. It was at the New York Capital One.
Neutral.
It was at Madison Square Garden, MSG.
That makes it better because we beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. But who hears to tell? We can talk real quickly on UFC here.
Well, actually, Darren Peterson usually is winning.
He did play that game, and he did win the game by making 2 huge threes for them. But let's talk UFC here. I know I'll share my screen here for this bout. We can kind of go through it a little bit. I will hopefully
do have Nick Howard update from this card. This is what he said. Taking a deep dive into the Houston card this week while it's dead at work. Jean-Paul Lebenousewai. It's like future champ material.
He's fighting Phil Rowe.
All right. Yadier Devalle versus Jordan Levitt. That should be a good fight. What's his odds? -400, the Cuban problem. Carly Judice versus Juliana Miller. UFC women's flyweight opening up the card. This is actually a pretty good women's fight as far as those go. Do we have any Houston girl, Texas girl down here?
I don't know.
Is that why they're on this?
Is
San Diego and Louisiana. All right. But right now, it looks like Judice is the favorite. She's looked pretty good in her last couple fights. She got a KO over Calalari and a KO over Dubin. Before that, couple split decision losses. Welcome back.
Hopefully it'll come back. Hold on.
No, we're still streaming.
Yeah, I know that, but I need to close out a few tabs here. Hold on. I don't know what just happened. I tried to fucking quit it. It just blanked out on me. Are we good, do you think?
I'm looking at the stream right now. It looks like we're close. I don't know how the audio is.
Let's look here. Here, hold on. Yeah, it looks like we're all right. Here, let me
All
throw
right.
this UFC back up here. I don't know.
Yeah,
I tried to go back and it just kicked me out.
We're all good. Crispy Judice, man. I mean, she kills it. Killer Miller got a unanimous decision win over Ivana Petrovic in her last bout.
Here we go.
Moving on to Yadir Devalle versus Jordan Levitt. The Cuban Problem is coming off.
Cuban Problem. I know. Would you say he's a 400 favorite?
Minus 400 right now. Yeah, 4-1. I mean, he's 10-0. Obviously, let's recent fights. We've got a rear naked choke submission, unanimous decision in the Contender Series. Then we look at Jordan Levitt. I mean, he had the Anaconda choke recently. Lost to Chase Hooper, beat Victor Martinez, lost to Patty. That was a decent fight. That's kind of his recent 4. He's looked good. I mean, right? He kind of looked good against Patty for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was like some stuff going on there. But this whole Cuban Problem issue, I think he's going to come out with this W. Jordan Levitt is, this is like the good test for him at this point in his career. Devalle. John Paul versus Phil Rowe. JPL. 9-2. Contender Series KO. Before that, he was an LFA guy. Lost by KO to Jacoby Jones. Making his debut against Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe coming off the decision loss to Seokyeon Ko. Ainge Lusa. I mean, Phil Rowe has kind of been a guy with some bad losses. So this is a good UFC debut fight for Jean Paul. We'll see what he does. Exciting stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess you kind of just take him, but he is kind of favorited. Minus 220 is pretty decent. Joseline Edwards versus Nora Coronel. We've got Joseline at minus 260. She has been towards the top of this women's bantamweight division as of late. She's had 3 straight wins, all by finishes, coming off 2 losses before that. And then on the other side, you have Nora Coronel, who's coming off of a loss against Carol Rosa. But she got wins over Cowan and Mullins, and she did beat Joseline Edwards in 2023. So part 2 of this matchup, we'll see if Coronel does still have Edwards' number. France versus Panama, 36 versus 30. Typically, the younger fighter wins the rematch. So kind of an interesting fight there that they're rematching. Continuing on the card, we have Luis Gurel versus Alden Correa. Cobra Correa, almost a 3-1 favorite. Another cool flyweight fight right here. We've got wins, no contest. Former Fury UFC guy. We got a KO in his UFC debut 5 months ago. On the other side, we got Gurel, who's coming off of 2 losses, including a KO to Ode Osborne, KO loss. He did win his Contender Series bout, but 32 years old versus 27. I'm excited to see what Alden can maybe show in this fight. Looks like he's from the States. He's fighting out at Tejas. God, this is a good opportunity for him, huh? Alibi Idris is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. UFC flyweight. Whereas Ode Osborne, which is weird because these guys, well, I guess Gurel did lose to him. Ode Osborne is 1-4 in his last 5 losses to Steve Erceg, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Jarrell Farrell, and Azu Almurbayev. We've got this Kazakhstani Alibi, who lost his UFC debut to Joseph Morales by submission a couple months ago. He's 31. He is a little long in the tooth for someone this young in his UFC debut. He does train in the same gym as these other Kazakhstani fighters. Omubayev, I believe, is on there. There's some other gentlemen that their names I cannot pronounce. O'Day Osborne, he's fast, he's athletic. He's fun to watch. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to quite do in this matchup against a guy who's as good of a grappler as these Uzbekistanis are. Moving on up the card, we have the Hulk Carlos Leal, the Lion, and Chidi Ninjokuani, Bang Bang, who's the underdog. He is a little long in the tooth. He's 37 versus the 31. Kind of bookend losses in his last 5. He's gotten a couple KOs. Lost 7 months ago to Jake Matthews. Where on the other side we have Leal, who's coming off of a KO loss a couple months ago to Salikov. He's got some pop in his hands for sure. I think this fight is good to place your won't go the distance ticket. But I don't know if I'm leaning one way or the other. I just see a lot of pop in these hands.
Good fight for sure.
Yeah. That's our feature prelim. Moving on to the main card, Michael Pieta versus Zach Reese. Savage Zach Reese.
Yeah, Michael Pieta.
From Shiner, Texas. Too. Yeah, he is. But 3 losses.
Gatekeeper.
In his last 3.
Yeah.
And you got Shiner, Texas. I mean, this guy's coming home.
Yeah.
He has a win over Jackson McVeigh. Cedric Dumas, accidental goring shot. That ended in a no contest. Decision. And then it looks like a loss to Bakoyev. So he, 31 years old isn't necessarily prospect level, but I think he has a lot to show here. And Michael Piera is a good fighter to show those skills against. And this is our opening fight on the main card. Moving on up, Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell. 11-0 versus 11-0.
Good fight.
His UFC debut.
A big contender to figure out, maybe hitting that top 15.
30 versus 27. How many UFC fights? We have 2 UFC fights plus a contender series KO win on the Jacoby Smith side. 30 against 27. I mean, this is going to be a fun fight, man, for 2 guys who are really, really young. Like, it's kind of cool to see these guys who are just kind of added and you're straight right into it.
Yeah.
We'll put you on the main card and we're ready to see what you do. Fun stuff there. Speaking of fun stuff, Sergey Spivak versus Ante Digia. God, just 2 old, tall mugs. 6'3", 78
Who is
inch arm.
going to be the ultimate gatekeeper for the welter or the new heavyweight? Is it going to be Spivak or is it going to be these guys?
I know, because these guys
it's
both...
a gatekeeper versus a gatekeeper to figure out who's going to be the gatekeeper to the top 15 or top 10 of the division.
Like, these guys have both fought Tybura and Waldo Cortez in like the last year.
The heavyweight division is such a mess, though. It's just not
Gable
fun
Stevenson's
to watch right
probably
now.
Gonna fight on the White House.
He should. Gable Stevenson will mix things up in the heavyweight actually for once instead of it being whatever the hell it's been going on the last 2 years.
Moving on up the main card, we got Dan Ige versus Misquael Costa, the Dalmatian. One of my favorite fighters. I had the honor and pleasure of seeing him.
Gateway or a gatekeeper fight? Yes or no? Is
Not
Costa,
for Costa.
Because
Costa's on a hot streak. Costa's on a hot enough streak where this will probably put him in like
Well, Dan Ing is the gatekeeper here, but this qualify has that type of fight because
if Costa wins this fight, I like him versus Lopez or Gene Silva. Him versus Diego Lopez or him versus Gene Silva. That's how hot he is right now.
Interesting. Yeah, because, I mean, Dan Ige is just a gatekeeper.
I don't think Dan gets that opportunity if he wins.
No,
but Dan's always. But he's a gatekeeper. Dan's such. But he's also like done a lot for the company, so the company rewards guys.
Well, right, but like he's the guy that's going to test the new guy.
Yeah,
and that's what he's doing. And if he wins, he's not going to get an opportunity. He's just going to fight another new guy. Whereas Costa probably gets, a top 15 matchup being ranked.
What is Ige ranked right now?
14.
Okay, so this is a 15 matchup.
Yeah. He's the gatekeeper of the top 15, the big contender.
And he's 29 with like 30 plus fights. 25-7. I had the honor and pleasure of watching him at UFC Seattle, and we did buy tickets. We are going to UFC Seattle again, so be on the lookout for that. Oh my gosh, I might just buy the belt, dude. Bro. I might buy the belt. I love the belt, dude. I want a belt so fucking bad. He's really a fun fighter to watch, Costa. Exciting to see what he does in this bout. They don't even have it as the co-main, which I think is crazy. The co-main is Jeff Neal versus Eros Medic.
Is Neal more of a gatekeeper than Dan Ige is, or no?
I think that they're both equal in their divisions.
I think they're about the same level.
Yeah.
It's not a bad comparison. I was just curious.
Uros is a little older. He's fighting out of Anchorage, Alaska, which has got to be crazy. And then Jeff Neal's from Dallas, so this is kind of a homecoming for him. They actually have Jeff Neal as the slight betting favorite, minus 185. So I might slide over to this Medic side, this Serbian who trains in Alaska. That's got to be nuts.
It's home for him, basically, there, though.
Yeah. Couple KOs.
This Sean Strickland, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez fight is going to be nuts.
Yeah. Who do you like?
I like Hernandez. I don't think Strickland's as good. I think Strickland is starting to fade a little bit. I've got Hernandez being the up-and-coming to really test the middleweight division. I've got Hernandez in this. But I think it'll be a good fight, and I don't think it goes the distance.
Sean Strickland's last loss before DDP was Jared Cannonier. And before that, it was Alex Pieta.
He doesn't lose to anybody but maybe guys who can be champions, but I can see Fluffy being a champion at some point.
You think so?
I like his characteristics. I like his fighting style. I think it matches up well with the middleweight. Yeah, I do like him eventually being a champion at some point. Do I think it's his first ever opportunity for champ? No. But I think he gets those opportunities and capitalizes on one of them against somebody. I don't know who that somebody's going to be, but I think Hernandez kind of moves Strickland into a gatekeeper of the top 5. Like an Usman character. Or Leon Edwards.
He's got some good wins. Fair enough. What we're looking at for the odds is minus 250 favorite plus 210 underdog favorite being Fluffy.
250 is kind of crazy. I might take that for Strickland. 250 is nuts. I think it should be a little bit closer than 250.
Yeah.
Strickland hits him one time in the right spot, he goes out.
That is true.
Like, I get, like, everybody's like, oh, Fluffy, and I'm on the Fluffy train too, but, like, remember Leon Edwards versus Usman? And everybody's like, oh, Usman, right? It's going to be easy. And then Leon hit one shot that knocked him out. Strickland is that one-shot mentality type of guy where I could see him catching Hernandez and with one shot and knocking him out. I think it'd be a great main event.
Fluffy could just grab Sean Strickland, rip his head off. Sean Strickland's a really good fighter.
It's going to be a great fight.
It will be.
for sure.
All right.
All right. Well, hey, that's us. I mean, I don't know why my thing is only in this little mediocre thing, but I guess we'll make it work for the last little bit. Mainland for Rail West, why don't you give us our last words to the people before we sign off here on our Sunday night?
Yeah, like, donate, subscribe, donate via super chat, share with your friends. Exciting stuff coming up on the pod. We'll see the next time we do one of these fight watch alongs. That'll probably come up pretty soon. Exciting stuff coming up in my corner of the world. Support sport, go out, touch grass, do good things. It's kind of all I got for you guys this week. A little quick app. We got it in real quick.
Quick app.
God, I missed you guys last week. I really did.
We had to figure some stuff out for sure that of last
goodbye,
week.
folks.
And it is what it is, but we are here most of the time, 7:30 Western Coast time, 9:30 Central, but 7:30 for your West Coast guys.